Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the IWC Radio podcast. This is our Fyter Fest review of AEW Dynamite, basically. It's the same, all melded into one show, pretty much here. Joining me, Chucks and Will. No Beans. I don't know what happened to him. He's fallen into a hole, I think. I don't know. Be a great time to bring back the guy.
Oh, have you not got that guy?
I don't have that guy.
I don't know about that guy.
I don't have that guy falling, yeah. Let's see here. Hold on, maybe. Now I have to look for it. Hold on.
I guess we won't hear it anyway, will we?
We won't be able to. Here we go. There it is.
Hey.
There it is.
I'm sure it was great.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. How you guys doing?
I'm pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah, I can't complain. What's been happening this week in the world? Has anything else burned down? Has anyone else been outed as like racist or something? Like that seems to be where everything was going. And then I've been locked in for a week, so I don't know what's happening. What's the big scandal this week?
Big scandal.
I don't think there is one really.
I
hell?
I can't think of one at the moment.
No.
I mean, people are still protesting. Obviously, it's just not covered in the news.
Yeah.
It's boring now.
Yeah, the virus over here is kind of spiked in terms of positive cases because, shocker, people aren't wearing masks and might have to go into a second lockdown at some point. But
We seem to be doing quite well with it for now. I'm sure they'll all turn on its head sooner or later, and we'll be back in lockdown for some reason or other.
yeah, maybe. I mean, as long as people are following the guidelines and doing what they're supposed to do, then I think we'll be okay.
I was linked to a story on Twitter. I can't remember who actually put it up, but just in case we went in enough shit, apparently they found another virus in China.
Oh my god!
And,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Is this one even worse?
that's to look forward to in a couple of months. No, apparently it is. Yeah, it's they don't know where it's come from. Wink, wink.
I bet I do. I bet Alex Jones does. Let's ask that guy.
He'll
No.
know, of course.
Oh,
But it's in a weird case of deja vu. Apparently, the Who, not the band, the medical people, they are quite happy with the job China are doing right now and containing it all.
Really?
So nothing to worry about.
Shocker.
Nothing to worry about. We'll be fine.
It's old news now, but did you see the video where the guy pretended not to hear the question about Taiwan?
No?
no.
It was hilarious. So, like, there was I think it was a Taiwanese reporter had like a a Zoom interview with a guy from the Who. Not Pete Townsend.
Right.
For the World Health Organization. Some guy, I think he was, I don't know if he was British or American or whatever, but he was on the representing them. She asked, so how should Taiwan deal with this or something? How do you think that Taiwan is dealing with the virus? He kind of paused for 10 seconds and went, sorry, I didn't hear what you said. So she said, oh, okay, I'll repeat the question. He said, no, don't bother about it. Let's go on to the next one.
Wow.
And she kept going back to it. There's a video of it. She goes back to it a couple of times. And in the end, he just ends the call.
Nice.
Wow.
It's amazing.
No, I'm not seeing that. I have to look
Yeah,
into that.
China doing a great job, I'm sure. Says the World Health Organization.
Yeah, well, you know. Coronavirus 2, The Revenge, coming soon to a lockdown near you.
I can't
Okay.
wait.
You can't wait? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
God, I can.
I didn't think this one went far enough. I
No.
need more outrage. I need I need double masks. I need like Kane when he came back with that welder's helmet on.
Oh yeah.
I need, I need
Did anyone
my
see
house
the-
to also be put inside a house.
Just getting this sadly back on wrestling just for a minute. Did you see the ironic news that the Kane, or Glenn Jacobs as he's now known, as the mayor of Knox County, is it?
He is, yeah.
They had a vote on whether or not to make it compulsory to wear face masks.
Oh no.
And he voted no.
He voted no.
Yeah.
The man that's wore a mask for the best part of his career. Said
He
no.
realizes how much it sucks.
Well,
No, I'm
maybe.
not going back in that thing.
I just thought that was really funny.
It's quite funny.
Uh,
Maybe he could put on that mask that had like the mouth cut out. Like, hey, you said
Yeah.
mask.
Well, that was the funniest bit, because I've seen the story posted a few times around different news websites, and they all posted that picture of him quite recently where he was corporate Kane,
Oh yeah.
where he's backstage looking at the mask in the case.
yeah.
And it was that mask with the big hole for the mouth. Just didn't make any sense.
It's not going to protect you.
But yeah, Kane's against masks. There you go. There's a headline
Yeah.
for
It's great.
Should we get into the review here, the review part of the thing?
Before we do, I have an apology to make regarding these predictions.
Yeah.
It had to happen eventually.
Yeah, I don't think we've never missed one, have we?
I mean, Beans
None
hasn't.
of us.
Beans
Even
hasn't-
Beans.
Yeah.
Although, I think we have a couple of times done pretty much what you're doing now. I promise I haven't seen it. I definitely have when the pre-show match gets announced like 5 minutes before the show.
Yeah, you can understand that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't seen any of AEW, and I've not for any sort of not trying, but I've not actually seen any results either. Genuinely, so.
All right.
We'll believe you.
So before you, I don't know how you want to do this. Before you throw your predictions up, do you want me to make mine?
I mean, we could fill them out live on the stream here.
Yeah, I'll just.
Well, I guess are you looking at? You could just not look at. Then we
they're
have
not.
to trust
They're
you
not
twice.
They're not colored in. Keep that in mind. They're not purpleized or anything like that.
Okay, so he could take some cues from what we've guessed, but I suppose
Yeah.
that don't really matter.
I'll go first if you want. I don't mind.
All right, so I'll quickly run through for you now. Then we had, in fact, I don't have one of Smoot's because they announced because of John Moxley being testing positive, they had to scrap that match and they replaced it with Omega and Page defending again on the second night against was it Private Party?
Yeah. It was. Yeah.
Yeah, against Private
I
Party.
would have said Omega and Page.
Okay, so I'll write that in for you. Will, tag team titles on the line. Omega and Page, Private Party.
This is gonna look really bad now if I get it right, isn't it? I'll go for Omega and Page.
Okay. Sure. Well, we will find out later if that was the right move or not. Nyla Rose was in action. Did she win or not?
I see where this is going. I'll say yes, she did.
Wow. That's a bold prediction.
Incredible.
Yes, the Dark Order, Brody Lee, Stu Grayson, and Colt Cabana, who I guess isn't in the Dark Order, but is with them, associated with them, versus SCU, all three.
SCU.
SCU.
Okay.
Okay. Joey Janela versus Lance Archer.
Archer.
That's a pretty safe bet. Or is it? we then had an 8-man tag with the Young Bucks tagging with FTR, so that's combustible, against the Butcher and the Blade and the Lucha Brothers, the returning Lucha Brothers.
I'll go with FTR on the Bucks.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then Jericho and Orange Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, those are some good predictions there.
I don't feel
like
too
that.
bad. I don't feel too bad with
So I've got a huge space where Beans' predictions are supposed to go.
yeah.
Let's start with night 1.
Ed just said, imagine doing a prediction show during a review show. I know.
Right?
Didn't
Well,
TNA do a filming after a live event or something? Though?
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They did loads of that. They did a load of tapings, then a pay-per-view before the tapings aired. So someone had lost a belt before, then having to show up with the belt.
Yeah.
It's really awkward. But, they did it. Well,
History goes out the
so
window.
yes, no one remembers it. So night 1, which we didn't recap last week because we weren't here, kicked off with Jurassic Express, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus beating MJF and Wardlow, which gave me and Will a point and Smoot none.
I mean, they did have that little mix-up there between MJF and Wardlow, and I did I did predict that like two weeks ago. So, but they're still somewhat on the same page, and it caused Jurassic Express to get the win.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, that's the way I think it had to go down. See, I realise now, finally, the secret to predicting AEW, and I probably shouldn't tell you this on a prediction show, is you think about what would make the most sense.
Yeah, and then it happens.
Then you just go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm doing so well compared to WWE.
You mean
It's true.
using logic in wrestling?
I know, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's like the first thing that you would think of is generally what they'll do because that's what makes sense. With WWE, you have to take into account who won the last one because they're definitely going to go 50-50. Or who got the upper hand in the brawl on the go-home show because then the other guy wins. Now, there's little secrets with them. But this one, you just think...
Or what mood is Vince in today?
Well, that's unpredictable. Has he had his... What's he called? Is it beef wrap? Has he had his beef wrap yet? Then, next up, Hikaru Shida defended successfully the women's title against Penelope Ford. I don't know why Penelope Ford is challenging all of a sudden. She kind of came out of nowhere. Hikaru wins, and we'll get points.
Yeah.
It's great.
And the chat says wrestling company booking to make sense in this economy. Yeah,
It's a con.
I agree.
It doesn't need to make sense anyway if the ratings don't matter anymore, and you
They
don't
do.
have fans there. You could just pay the guys to react however you want.
Well, the ratings
The
do
ratings
matter. Ratings
Do they?
do matter. Yeah.
So why are they so low? Then why are they not doing anything about it?
Just not many people are watching. I don't know what they can do about that, but they're really like all about the 18 to 49 demo. They're like, we're killing it in the 18-49 demographic.
With like a 0.5? No, they're not.
Tony Khan said something like, being in the top 10 of cable is like a huge win, and he celebrated with a little bit of the bubbly. If I can find it here.
Well, if he's happy, I guess that's all that really matters.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like they should be doing something to attract more people rather than just hanging on to the 500,000.
That I agree with.
I imagine Tony Khan's never really not happy. He's a billionaire.
It's a fact.
I imagine he's quite happy quite a lot of the time.
Yeah. Yeah, here it is, here real quick. Saying, thank you to all that helped make Fyter Fest on AEW Dynamite a huge success these past 2 weeks, especially fans, wrestlers, and crew. We finished in top 7 in the 18 to 49 demo in the past 2 weeks, plus last night, our best 18 to 34 audience since March. Number 2 last night in 12 to 34 males as well.
That's quite specific.
Right?
Top
Like,
7.
Stats
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. I always like that. We finished in the top 7. Like, what position do you think they actually were? Do you think they were like number 4? And he's just decided to say top 7?
Yeah.
No, he's definitely 7.
I mean, I don't know about you, but we're the best wrestling podcast on a Saturday night at 11:42 p.m. You know, just saying. We can all tweak stats, Tony.
Where the hell? I'm completely lost my place.
It just kind of reminds me of Dixie Carter in a way, you know? 'Cause I'm pretty sure she used to brag about, like, really niche specific data points when it came to ratings and whatnot, so
I can imagine. I've never seen it, but I can imagine it's the kind of thing she would do.
yeah. Anyway.
I get the same with WWE conference calls as well. That same feeling like they've had a meeting beforehand, not to discuss how they can make things better, but to how they can, to what they're gonna say to make it sound like it's better than it is.
Polish the truth.
Yeah, how are we gonna polish this turd rather than actually doing something to improve the numbers? We've got great social media presence. Just go with that. Social media. They love us on social media. Sheeta retained, that's points. Then Cody also retained against Jake Hager, the Big Hurt. That is points all round again.
Hager punched out the referee after he realized he didn't win. And couldn't tell because Cody's music was playing.
Yeah, that was...
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not much else to say here. I've really got nothing to say about any of these matches. The Private Party beat the Inner Circle, so that is points for me and Will again.
Not looking good for me here.
Yeah, that was a match. You had some moves in. It's fine. And then the Elite guys beat the Best Friends to retain the tag titles in the main event.
Of course.
So that's points again.
Of course.
Title match is very predictable. We all got that. So at the end of night 1, me and Will nailed it.
I just noticed that. I can't believe I managed to do that. Should have not seen any of it.
Did you see any of the build-up before the show?
No.
No, you're just completely out of touch with it. Alright, well, let's see how you did on night 2.
The last AEW show I've seen was the whatever the last pay-per-view was.
Revolution, I believe.
Really? Was that far ago?
I think so,
That
yeah.
long ago? No, it couldn't have been that. It was a...
Well, they did
Yeah,
that match
no.
at the beach.
That might have been it.
They did...
What was the one around the time Matt Hardy debuted?
Yeah, last... Double or Nothing. Right. That might
Oh,
be
that's
it.
a
Double or
double.
Nothing. That was it.
Sorry, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, that would have been the last show I've seen.
That's going back a little way. Alright, so night 2, we know that John Moxley tested positive for... no, he didn't. Renee Young tested positive for COVID.
Renee did.
So Moxley stayed home just in case, to be safe. They've now since tested negative and he will be back. That's good. But his match, he was scheduled to defend against Brian Cage on this show. That had to be scrapped. They replaced it with the AEW tag title match, second one. Omega and Page now defending against the Private Party. It's Private Party 1 on night 1. Which means Omega and Page wrestled consecutive matches on AEW.
Right?
I don't know if that's ever happened before.
No, I can't remember. On successful
Maybe.
back-to-back title defenses
Exactly.
as well.
They won them both. So that we all predicted Elite to win. They did. Points for everyone. I think the theme here is that title matches are easy to predict.
Maybe.
Everything else, let's see. Again, yeah, good match, fine. Matt Hardy on the outside. We'll see where that goes. I don't know. Stuff. Lance Archer beat Joey Janela. Will, you were right there.
Yeah.
We all were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised this match went 2 segments, to be honest with you. I guess they had time to fill.
Yeah. Was this 11, 12 minutes? Well, then we had this 8-man tag. This was good. There was a lot of stuff going on. It's good to see Pentagon and Phoenix back. They've been missed. Surprise upset victory for the Butcher and Blade and the Lucha Brothers. FTR losing in one of their first matches. Yeah, I wouldn't have predicted that. In fact, I didn't predict that.
Oh,
So that's a point for Smoot. He
Yeah.
makes back one of his. He needed that.
definitely. Here's why I lose it. Again.
Next up, Nyla Rose was in action. We found out at the time it's a handicap match against, I don't know who Kenzie Page and Keelan King are.
I think just people on Dark.
Victims.
Victims,
Yeah.
yes!
Nyla squashed them in 2 minutes. That's unsurprising. 6-man tag. Colt Cabana was handed the win for the Dark Order over SoCal Uncensored. So that is a point for me and not for you guys.
Damn it.
And finally, 18 minutes. Orange Cassidy survived with Chris Jericho, and in the end was squashed into juice, beaten into a pulp.
Which is a shame because, they should have let Orange Cassidy get the win here, I feel. In my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know where they could go with him. I feel like Jericho's still a top guy. They can do anything with him, and Orange Cassidy
Yeah, they didn't really need to win.
not really on the way up. So I now have to add up your results. That's a point for me, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, just had to say it. That's all. Make sure you know. So 2, 4, 6, 7.
Now I'm a little bit mad. If my numbers are correct.
7, 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, that means. Oh, and I just put Beans in here as well. Okay. Beans turns out, because he gets no points in any of these 11 matches.
He's still sitting at 4.
He's still sitting at 4 now out of a total of 20.
Yeah.
This show, I guess, I win. Only FTR let me down. So that's 10 out of 11. Awesome. Smoot got a 7, Will got an 8. So both pretty healthy scores. In the end, that puts, Beans on 4. Me and Smoot, we are both on 13 out of 20. Will still just ahead on 14.
Yeah.
This is a close
I'm a little
one
mad.
now.
Now I know how Beans feels.
Why? You didn't
Because Will
give up.
didn't watch the show. That's why.
It is quite funny. I've not watched anything, but
Yeah.
I am ahead. I don't know how that happens.
Also, Ed in the chat says they'll teach Beans to have a life, right?
Yeah.
Having a family and all
This
that.
guy, like, having kids and stuff. What the hell?
Yeah.
Priorities, man. Didn't he win the AEW contest last year as well?
I think so, something like that.
It's like it
He
means
did,
nothing.
yeah. Oh no.
I have no idea.
Should we go straight into the next one?
I don't have it prepared, but yes, if you want to, sure.
Okay,
I'll re-rack the music here.
Oh,
There you go.
we have Fight for the Fallen up next week, this Wednesday. they've gone straight from one 2-week special, to another one. I don't know why, but that's what they're doing. Only 4 matches announced. If anything else is added, then I guess we'll have to try and catch up. But let's stick with what we've got for now. The Elite, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks are taking on the Jurassic Express in a 6-man tag. Who have you guys got?
I'll
go the Elite.
I'll also go with the Elite.
Yeah, me too. Although now I'm looking at it, I think it would be cool if Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus get a tag title match out of this. This would be a good chance to have someone beat Kenny, put themselves into the title picture.
Maybe.
I guess we'll see. Got the Elite winning because they're the big names here. Tag team match: FTR versus Lucha Brothers. Time to get some revenge. Are FTR gonna keep climbing that ladder, or is the Lucha Brothers return gonna keep rolling on strong?
I think I'll go with FTR.
FTR.
Yeah, I'll go FTR. They haven't had a win yet, have they?
Not a big one. I think they have one on TV, but nothing too special.
I'll go FTR.
Yeah, me too. Although it's a shame to beat Lucha Brothers so soon. The TNT title is on the line now. Cody defending against Sonny Kiss.
Yes,
Cody.
that's correct. They just have the graphic here just says open challenge, but yes, it is supposed to be Sonny Kiss. Sticking with Cody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go Cody.
Cody all round then. I didn't mention Brian Cage, because Moxley didn't show up for the title match. Taz presented him with the FTW Championship.
I hate how small he is on the graphic here, by the way. It's so tiny.
Oh, tiny Taz! Taz is pretty tiny, but like...
Come on.
Yeah, so we've got AEW champion Jon Moxley versus FTW champion Brian Cage. What's happening in this one?
Moxley wins.
I think Moxley has to retain because, it'd be... Cage has a title now, so he doesn't really need the win.
Yeah, I don't think this is the time. Champion retained, so we've all predicted exactly the same thing up and down that card. So awesome.
All right.
No change after this one.
Okay.
Just noticed something. This is a weird graphics spot.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Fight for the Fallen graphics are just the inverted version of the Fyter Fest graphics.
Oh yeah, the palm trees and
The
whatnot.
palm trees, yeah.
Maybe they furloughed. Maybe they furloughed the design or something.
They furloughed the graphics team as well.
Yeah, there you go. There's a compare and contrast. We go back to that one. Yeah. See, that's what the Fyter Fest one looks like, and then back over here, it's like sunrise, sunset.
Yeah.
Oh, in the background there, right?
Yeah.
Got the trees.
Oh yeah, it's fine. It's
Maybe they just like trees. I don't know.
Let's say AEW tree enthusiasts. Anyway. Yeah. Anything else you want to add? We can get out of here off of that, if you ask me. There really hasn't been much going on. I did not catch the Great American Bash, but apparently Keith Lee is now NXT champion.
Oh, wow.
I did actually see that. It was a good match, actually. Watched that last night, yeah. It was pretty good. One thing was really, you want to pick up when you didn't see it, obviously, but and I know what they were trying to do. They were basically trying to create a bit of atmosphere because obviously there's no crowd there.
Yeah.
So pretty much throughout the whole night, they were banging on the plexiglass.
Oh God.
And it's okay for a little bit, but when it's all through the match, and you can just tell they're just doing it just to make noise. It got a bit much as the show went, especially when it got to the main event and they were just doing it all the time.
Oh.
I get it for certain bits, obviously when there was a crowd there, you get the stamping of the feet and don't you and all that, and it kind of works sometimes, but all the time is a bit much. So that was my takeaway from it.
I mean, hey, they got to do something to make noise, but yeah, I can see how like all throughout the match or all throughout the night can be very, very obnoxious. So
Keith Lee now a double champion.
Yeah. No word on what they're gonna do for the North American title. He's just gonna hold on to it, defend it, relinquish it. Because supposedly
Adam Cole had that belt for ages.
Yeah.
Over a year.
It was over a year.
That's one of those if like there was actually were fans in attendance, how they would react to Keith Lee winning.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
Yeah, and the chat says 400 someday reign for Adam Cole. It's crazy. That's almost like CM Punk or something like that, to that extent. Yeah, it kind of feels like a slow news week outside of those shows on Wednesday.
Apparently, I've not seen it. Apparently, SmackDown was terrible.
It wasn't good. I watched it today, and I can't remember a lot about it.
There's a headline of Naomi.
Jeff Hardy was on the dirt sheet, delivering lines badly.
Aren't they doing something about his drinking again or something?
Well, yeah, it's an ongoing thing with Sheamus. So now they're going to have a match in a bar fight at the pay-per-view.
Oh, that's tasteful.
Yeah.
Naomi addresses criticism of SmackDown karaoke segment.
Oh, that was bad. What did she say? Did she actually try and defend it?
It was.
What did she say? Like, this is what I was told to do. I don't write this shit.
Close. Somebody on Instagram said, "I would rather see all of you wrestle." And here, let me throw it up on the stream. She replied back saying, "Yeah, me too, but a lot of times we have to make chicken salad out of chicken shit. I'm so sorry."
Nice.
So there you go. That's where we're at now. During this pandemic is the fact that now the women are doing karaoke on a wrestling show. We're supposed to wrestle.
It felt like, I don't know, 15, 17 years ago when they kept doing like diva dance-offs and stuff.
Yeah,
It's like a real throwback to like, why, what's this? What was this for? Just filling time doing something no one wants to see. I thought we were past this. Isn't this what the revolution was about?
Which supposedly they're going to be holding another one of those late August.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Oh, women's pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Evolution. Yeah.
Evolution 2. I'm not seeing much of anything here to talk about other than that. But yeah, I've only heard like just Raw and SmackDown have been terrible.
Yeah, they have.
Rough.
I mean, it's obvious that they're just treading water to get back into the arena, but at this point, no one really knows when that's going to happen, so you should at least put some effort in.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Thank you. One of the matches for Raw, from Raw, being announced for Extreme Rules, the horror show. Seth Rollins, Rey Mysterio, eye for an eye match.
Didn't I saw this on Twitter? Didn't Wasn't this something AEW did like months ago?
Yeah,
Basically, yeah.
but they did it a little bit more tastefully.
Well, I mean, that was kind of the tagline for it, because they jabbed a spike into Jericho's eye, and then into Moxley's eye. Then Moxley jabbed a key into, was it Santana's eye?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so it was all kind of like eye themed. But this one, so I'm just looking at the .com rundown here. Mysterio, so Mysterio won the match to choose the stipulation. And he chose an eye for an eye match, where apparently a winner can only be determined by extracting the opponent's eye.
Yeah.
So it's like a first blood match, only you have to like blind the guy. You have to actually take the guy's eye and extracting the eye. Not just injuring the eye.
Extracting.
Yeah, we have to see like optic nerve. The eye has to come out.
Alright. I don't know about the optic nerve. Yeah, I don't know how many people. I'm glad.
What do you mean it says extracting?
I'm glad I can't.
The eye can't stay in the head.
Well, yeah, I know. But I'm glad I canceled my network subscription because. Jesus Christ.
By the way, Smooth, just to correct you, you got the name of the pay-per-view wrong.
Oh.
Oh, what did I say? Extreme Rules
You
Horror
said,
Show?
yeah, it's called the Horror Show at Extreme Rules.
Yeah. True story.
Still fucking tasteless. Don't care. Yeah, I
mean,
I don't know.
I'll try to
find a way to watch.
It's been changed about 6 times since we were last on, so.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah, there it is here. Throw this up to make it official. Boop. There we are. Because like it just used to have Horror Show in the same font as the rules part in Extreme Rules, but now they've gone ahead and added the Horror Show as the headline.
They just had more fonts that they wanted to use on that poster.
Right? Yeah.
Have they ever explained the Horror Show meaning?
No.
Isn't
I
it
guess
supposed to be
like
the
the eye
swamp
thing,
match?
right?
Oh yeah, I guess either the eye match or the swamp match or whatever.
Oh, see, I when this was first announced, I think I was reading the results from SmackDown or something. I thought that the swamp match was called the Horror Show, which then it made sense.
No, it's a Wyatt swamp fight.
Yeah, I don't know.
What the hell is going on?
I don't know. They're struggling for ideas. Bruce Pritchard, everybody, here to make everything better.
The Horror Show at WWE Extreme Rules will become even more terrifying when Universal Champion Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt meet in a non-title Wyatt swamp fight.
Yeah, like what's
more
point?
terrifying than a non-title match?
A swamp fight, non-title match.
I'm terrified.
Mm.
Wyatt ended his harrowing silence by resurrecting the dead from the Firefly Funhouse. What's harrowing about a silence? He wasn't there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so next week we'll be predicting the Horror Show at Extreme Rules.
At Extreme Rules.
The Monster Among Men bested his old family member with Black Sheep Mind Games at WWE Money in the Bank. Black Sheep Mind Games, guys. That's a thing.
So I guess they didn't rehire the .com eggheads here.
Not just any old mind games. The mind games you learned from a flock of sheep.
Thanks for that. What matches are announced so far?
You know, sheep really get in your head, right? When you go to the farm and you're like, God damn it, these sheep are looking at me.
Swamp fight. Why is Ziggler going after the WWE title against McIntyre? Yeah, that was another thing. Was Heath Slater came back. And,
yeah, that was cool. I was
and
kind of happy with that.
he cut like a promo towards McIntyre that meant more than whatever the hell Ziggler's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Asuka and
He's-
Sasha Banks.
Who knew he's actually got kids, generally?
Yeah, who knew?
Well, he genuinely needs this job.
said it wasn't just a gimmick. I actually do have kids, and I do need this job, and I lost it.
Bailey versus Nikki Cross, Rey Mysterio, eye for an eye. Apollo Crews versus MVP for the U.S. title, even though MVP was supposed to retire. Interesting.
Yeah,
I'm so glad he didn't.
Really?
MVP? He's like the highlight of Raw every week. He's the
yeah,
only
right.
guy I can believe at all.
What I didn't get was, I may be wrong because WWE's crazy. Apollo Crews is the US champion,
Yes.
correct? Yeah. So why did MVP unveil the belt? Sorry.
I think that's the end of our show this week.
All right. Well,
I don't. They haven't explained that one as from what I could tell. He just kind of unveiled a belt as if he'd already won it or something. I
Yeah.
don't know. I've got nothing. I'm sorry.
I mean, you could say the same thing with Taz for Brian Cage. You know, like why would you introduce a belt when he hasn't won the main one? You know, that seems like
Well,
something you should.
Well, at least that was Taz's belt.
Yeah,
Well,
it
yeah.
was his, yeah.
But at least
It's like
it would have been a nice consolation
Ted
if he
DiBiase could
lost.
give anyone the $1 million belt.
Right.
Well, where was Apollo? Well, why didn't he? Hang on, that's my belt. What are you doing there?
I have no idea.
I don't like that belt. I want the old one back.
Yeah, the new United States Championship belt, right? Is what you're talking
Sorry,
about.
I keep saying belt. Sorry, I mean champion.
Yeah, I saw it, and it looks like something that WWE would give to like a winning sports team.
Yeah, that's probably why they changed it.
Yeah, let me throw it up on the stream.
I don't know if you know, there's a guy called well, I don't know his actual name, but he's on Twitter called Belts by Dan.
Uh-huh.
He makes belts, and he's done a couple of WWE belts in the past. And apparently he said that it's the first belt that's being made by 3D laser printing.
Oh, okay. So if it falls apart, we know who to blame.
Yeah. I don't think he actually made it, but yeah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with
Apparently,
this one. With the old one.
I don't mind it actually. It looks okay, but
And it used the same font for the Nexus as well, wide Latin. But this just looks like something like, hey, did your team win a championship? Well, here you go. WWE presents you this champion of the United States. Congratulations on your victory. That's the whole thing. And some people are like pointing out like the eagle looks like he's just like either taking a shit or like you can trace it and it makes like a cock and balls or
Really?
supposedly maybe right here I guess is a little bit you can make like a you can draw like a penis like right here sort of like that.
What the?
I don't know.
You think that those eagles' legs look like balls?
I'm not saying that's what it looks like, but I saw people on
If
Twitter.
anyone is saying that, they need to go get checked out.
Yeah.
I can kind of see the head a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. I think it looks.
This is a better angle than
It's different.
Yeah.
Different. The last one looks really kind of, I don't know, too colourful with the flag behind. And at least it's not a huge WWE logo or a circle like Penny Belt.
Yeah.
yeah. The last one always reminded me of the invasion angle. That's when it turned up.
Yeah, that's true. They used the WCW version for a little while.
Yeah.
And they made. Oh, didn't they? It was after the invasion one, because when they brought it back in like 03 and Eddie won it. Isn't that when they gave it a new design?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I've actually got a.
Edge unified it.
I've got a proper replica version of Cena's spinner title.
God.
Oh, nice.
The US one.
Was it the expensive replica or just one of the plasticky ones?
No, the expensive one. It's in a drawer downstairs.
Damn.
I want to try and sell
Why'd
it,
you have
but
that?
I bought it from WWE years ago, and it just
You just really liked that belt.
yeah. I've got the actual WWE spinner as well.
Are you a big Cena fan back in the day?
I like the belts.
Oh.
Try to keep saying belts. Try to championships.
Yeah. I guess it's supposed to. The little side plates here are supposed to like pop off, and then you can put whoever's name on it.
Mhm.
Well, apparently they're interchangeable with the WWE belt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
makes sense.
I suppose it does make sense if someone's going to win that, then they can use the same ones. Surprised they don't make them different though, so they can sell them on the website.
Oh.
I'm also surprised there's no LEDs on it, because there's LEDs and everything else.
Right? Yeah. Did I say WWE Championship for Apollo Creed? I meant U.S. title. Ed made it seem like I made a misstep there. Yeah, it's the United States Championship, not the WWE Championship. If I said WWE Championship, I'm sorry. My apologies.
Yeah,
But
Apollo
this-
Crews is not going to be a WWE champion anytime soon.
You can barely remember he's the United States champion.
Yeah.
Apparently,
For real.
everybody's already won it.
I just like the concept of just like giving yourself a title just because, why bother wrestling the match? Just give yourself the championship and save everybody the hassle.
Well, in this era, if there's no fans to see it, did you really...
Strange thing happened.
Yeah. All right. Anything else before we get out of here?
They've just set one on the belts. Apparently, this belts guy on Twitter, he was saying that apparently they've got new SmackDown tag titles that they've not actually used. They've been ready for a year,
What?
and they've not actually debuted them yet. And he also said, what was the other thing? He said the NXT title's getting a slight revamp, but it's pretty much going to be the same, except bigger.
Bigger.
So it's interesting to see what they do with the SmackDown belt, because I don't know. But right now, aren't they just the same as the Raw one, but blue?
Pretty
Yeah.
much, yeah.
So, interesting. So, you'd assume if they're going to change one, they change the other, but maybe not.
Well, there's I don't know how far this is gonna go, but there's talk, mostly by my boy Dave, but you never know with this guy if he knows something or if he's just saying stuff. That when ratings are down, Vince is pretty reliable with the way he's gonna go, and a roster remerge is not the craziest idea.
That's his emergency play, isn't it?
Yeah, and at what point is it an emergency? Because
Yeah.
things aren't good right now.
What was
So
it?
maybe if they're redoing one belt and not the other,
Yeah, maybe.
could be a sign.
What do they call it? Like a brand for brand talent exchange or something like that?
Invitational something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Christ. Just
Are you
nice-
like in a wind tunnel or what?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. Did you hear the fan? Sorry, it's getting hot back here. I had it. I had to mute the mic for something, and then I unmuted it, and I guess Skype was just like, "Whoa!"
Whoa!
Sorry about that.
No problem.
Anyway,
I think that's probably our sign to get out of here then, because that's...
Yeah.
yeah, the fan's gonna blow me away here. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back next week, hopefully, with Beans here. I think he just forgot about us or something. It's like, oh, sorry guys, I forgot you existed, or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Easy to do.
We'll have predictions for the horror show at Extreme Rules. Did I say it right that time?
You did. Hold on.
Yep.
Christ. All right, and then we'll be
You've
reviewing.
passed the Vince McMahon book of words.
Great. And we'll be reviewing Fight for the Fallen, the charity show at AEW next week, which I'm surprised WWE's not trying to counterbook as well, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Speaking of which, I do kind of like the idea of giving NXT old pay-per-view themes. That's kind of cool.
Maybe it helped them
that'd
out.
be awesome.
Great American Bash kind of worked. I can see them doing other ones in the future. It's kind of good.
All right. We'll be back next week. Take care. Stay safe. Wear a mask. Wash your hands and all that. We'll see you then. Take care. Good night.